If your team isn't using ClickUp, you're wasting time, and data proves it. 61% of knowledge workers manage work more than doing it, switching apps 1,000 times a day. That's work sprawl and costs millions. ClickUp replaces 20 apps with Convergence, uniting projects, docs, and chats, while AI super agents handle the busy work. Join 4 million teams using ClickUp to finish work 30% faster. Try it free and get 15% off AI upgrades at clickup.com/podcast. That's CLICKUP.com/podcast.
Youth mental health is a complex challenge that requires comprehensive solutions. We must strengthen after-school programs. We must make digital literacy tools available in our schools. We must work with mental health professionals to support children. And we must empower mentors, educators, and parents to keep kids happy. Learn more about our commitment to finding lasting solutions at empowerourfuturecoalition.com/solutions. Paid for by the Coalition to Empower Our Future.
It's Saturday the 28th of February on Ciara Evans, and this was a week that saw more drama as the Epstein scandal unfolds. The Green Party celebrate an historic by-election victory. Ukraine marked 4 years since Russia's invasion, and big names and plenty of surprises at the BAFTAs.
Grab a cup of something hot, put up your feet, and get up to speed on the 7 biggest stories of the week. This is the Standout 7 from the Smart 7.
It's news,
but not the news.
This week saw arrests, denials and testimony behind closed doors in the continuing scandals centred around the Epstein files, with calls for the former Prince Andrew to be removed from the line of succession over the ongoing Epstein scandal. Protesters snuck into the Louvre last weekend and hung a photo of him leaving a police station after questioning on the gallery wall. He has continued to strenuously deny any wrongdoing. Former Prime Minister Boris Johnson spoke to BBC on Sunday and said that he doesn't believe that the scandal will impact on the monarchy.
I think that the royal family is an amazingly resilient institution. I think it has an absolutely unshakable place in the hearts of the British people. The institution of the monarchy it has an unshakable place in the hearts of British people. It will go on. It will recover.
Monday evening saw Lord Mandelson arrested by police on suspicion of misconduct in public office. The former UK ambassador to the US and former business secretary had been under investigation by the Met Police after allegations that he had passed on market-sensitive information to Jeffrey Epstein, the convicted sex offender. Mandelson has not publicly commented, but it's understood that his position is that he did not act criminally in any way. He was released on bail late on Monday evening, and the police investigation is continuing. Sky News' deputy political editor Sam Coates said the arrest is highly significant.
This is a seismic moment, not only for Peter Mandelson, but for British politics as a whole. Peter Mandelson believed to be the only person who could help Britain and sort out its trading with the US at this tricky time, today being taken away by police.
Things weren't getting any easier for another man caught up in the Epstein files, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. On Tuesday, the government agreed to release the vetting files from a clearance procedure before the former prince was appointed to a role as a trade envoy, and it seems Andrew's conduct has led to an end to a traditional protocol that saw politicians decline to criticise the royal family. Junior Trade Minister Chris Bryant was happy to make his feelings clear.
There's a lot that we need to know about, but it does seem to me that you've got a rather chaotic number 10. It just seems to be this swirl of poor judgment and, inappropriate things going on in and around number 10.
By Wednesday, there was a new twist in the tale of Peter Mandelson. The former UK ambassador to the US and former business secretary said that the Met Police informed him that they'd had a tip that he might be planning to flee the country. He denied that, and on Wednesday, the Met Police found themselves having to apologise to the Speaker of the House of Commons after they accidentally revealed he was the source of the information. It all seemed very messy, and Sir Lindsay Howell wasn't inclined to comment any further on Wednesday.
Upon receipt of information, I passed this on to the Metropolitan Police. It is regrettable this rapidly ended in the media, as this is a live investigation.
The Epstein files scandal seems to have developed a life of its own despite the attempts of the Trump administration to redact and bury unsavoury details in a tidal wave of documents. And though Mr. Trump has consistently denied any wrongdoing and claimed the release has exonerated him, a new story has cast doubt on that claim. Representative Robert Garcia, who is the senior Democrat on the House of Oversight Committee, says that Trump's Justice Department withheld what he says is a credible accusation accusation about the president and that he is now pushing for the details to be released.
And we're going to be demanding, even over these next few days, that the remaining files that have not been released get released to the public. And that includes new files that were just discovered in the last couple days.
Former Secretary of State and failed presidential candidate Hillary Clinton testified on Thursday over the Epstein scandal, but despite her request for a public hearing, it was held behind closed doors. She spoke to the media after she delivered her testimony to the congressional panel.
I don't know how many times I had to say I did not know Jeffrey Epstein. I never went to his island. I never went to his homes. I never went to his offices. So it's on the record numerous times.
This week was a tense one in the world of UK politics as we face into what could be a crucial by-election in the Greater Manchester constituency of Gorton and Denton. The pressure saw all parties manoeuvring to try and gain voter attention, and that included Tory leader Kemi Badenoch, who took a new stance on student loans last Sunday, writing in the Telegraph that she would cut the interest rate on so-called Plan 2 loans, which were taken out in the decade between 2012 and 2023. There are an estimated 5.8 million people paying back those loans, which Badenoch says increasingly feel like a scam. Tory Shadow Education Secretary Laura Trott had a slightly different take. She was keen to kill courses that she feels have no value when it comes to future employment.
We're going to stop the government funding dead-end university courses because we know the IFS says that for 30% of young people going to university, it has negative returns for them. That is not okay. It's bad for them, and it's also bad for the public because we spend about £8 billion a year funding these courses.
On Tuesday, the government had finally announced that major changes are on the way on the SEND system, which is the Special Education Needs and Disabilities Programme. The Department of Education pledged to spend £4 billion over the next number of years to ease pressure on cash-strapped councils and give more responsibility to schools for how they assign supports. Georgia Gould is the schools minister, and she said that the intention is to provide more students with these new individual support plans.
So it will be individualised for the child, but critically, and these will be legally backed, and they will be backed by ring-fenced funding, because that's what's not been there.
And with the by-election looming, Education Secretary Bridget Phillipson was keen to draw a line between Labour's education policy and that of reform.
Well, if parents want to make sure that there is better support for children with special educational needs, if there's more action on child poverty, then I'd strongly encourage them not to vote for reform whenever the next general election comes, because reform have been very clear that their view of special educational needs is that we're talking about bad parents and naughty children. I mean, I think that's deeply insulting.
Recent polls on the outcome of Thursday's crucial by-election in the Greater Manchester constituency of Gorton and Denton suggested it was neck and neck between Labour, the Greens and Reform. That led to some heightened tension at Prime Minister's Question Time on Wednesday, and the news that the Tory candidate is polling at about 3% may have inspired Tory leader Kemi Badenoch to take things up a notch when it came to sparring with the PM over the recent Epstein scandal.
Perhaps before he gets on his high horse, he should ask why his backbenchers are saying that they're being called the Pedo Defenders Party. Yes. I didn't say it.
The outburst sparked a serious reaction from Labour backbenchers and sparked them into vocal support for the PM as he responded.
Yet again, she's shown why she is so utterly irrelevant. All she does is carp from the sidelines. In the meantime, because of our work, what is happening? Energy bills down, as announced this morning. Inflation down. Borrowing down.
Early Friday morning, we knew the results of the by-election held for the constituency of Gorton and Denton in the Greater Manchester area. At the last general election, Labour secured more than 50% of the vote for Andrew Gain, but he has now since stepped down due to ill health, which triggered the by-election. Polling in the constituency showed a three-way race between Labour, Reform and the Green Party, with huge pressure on Labour to hold the seat. With 11 candidates in the field, including a representative of the Communist League and Sir Oinkalot from the official monster raving Looney Party, voters had a wide selection. The results were announced early on Friday morning, with Plummer and Green Party candidate Hannah Spencer topping the poll, with Reform UK coming in second and Labour third.
I didn't grow up wanting to be a politician. I'm a plumber. Now, to my customers, I'm sorry, but I think I might have to cancel the work that you had booked in because I'm heading to Parliament. And when I get there, I will make space for everyone doing jobs like mine. We will finally get a seat at the table.
Patrick Maguire, chief political commentator for The Times, said the result is a damning indictment for the Prime Minister.
This is the worst possible result for the Labour Party, coming in third in one of their 40 safest seats. What Keir Starmer needed last night was a result which showed that progressives still had to vote for the Labour Party to beat reform.
Tuesday marked 4 years since Russian forces invaded Ukraine, promising at the time that they would capture Kyiv within 4 days. That proved to be wildly inaccurate, as a spirited defence from the Ukraine side saw Russia push back and Russian forces remain bogged down on over 500 miles of front line.
We are all here. Our soldiers are here. The citizens of our country are here. We are all here protecting our independence, our country, and it will continue to be this way.
That was Ukrainian President Zelensky 4 years ago on the street outside the presidential building in Kyiv as Russian special forces were hunting for him. His courage and refusal to take a ride offered by Joe Biden came to symbolise the courage and determination of the Ukrainian people, and they fought a global superpower for 4 years and inflicted far more damage on Vladimir Putin's army than he has on Ukraine. In advance of the anniversary, Ukrainian military intelligence Kyro Budanov said Russia must be held accountable for its crimes.
Our attention is focused on peace negotiations, which should not only end the war, but also prevent the recurrence of bloody Russian aggression. We are definitely moving towards the moment when all sides will need to make final decisions.
Since then, Russian progress has been incredibly slow, and Ukraine has turned the tide in recent weeks, regaining territory even under nightly bombardments from Russian missiles and drones aimed at shattering Ukraine's energy infrastructure. On Tuesday, Ukraine and its European allies marked 4 years of residence, and Zelensky had words of gratitude.
Europe has stood with us throughout these really difficult years, and our people trust Europe. They know we are not alone. In many ways, all of this is thanks to your personal efforts.
He took the moment to invite Donald Trump to visit Kyiv so that he could see who the aggressor is here, but there's been no response from the American president. EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen was making her 10th visit to Kyiv, and she says the whole of Europe wants to see a free Ukraine.
Europe will stand by you and stand with you until you have made that dream come true. Long live Europe and Slava Ukraine.
The US has continued to build up its forces in the Gulf, and this week saw Donald Trump demand once again that Iran reach a deal on limiting their nuclear capability. US envoy Steve Witkoff said on Sunday that the American president is becoming increasingly frustrated.
The president asked me that this morning, and I don't want to use the word frustrated. It's almost because he understands he's got plenty of alternatives. But it's curious. He's curious as to why they haven't capitulated.
Tuesday evening saw Trump give what turned out to be the longest ever State of the Union address. The US president spent almost 2 hours pushing his economic agenda and describing a turnaround for the ages, although the economic indicators do not match his claims. Trump has been facing declining poll numbers as the midterms loom, and the question of affordability continues to haunt him. He spoke about the ongoing standoff with Iran and said that he still prefers to solve the problem with diplomacy. And even with members of the Supreme Court present, he wasn't giving up on his beloved tariffs.
I believe the tariffs paid for by foreign countries will, like in the past, substantially replace the modern-day system of income tax, taking a great financial burden off the people that I love.
The aftermath of Trump's State of the Union address on Tuesday night saw pushback from the state of Minnesota, which was accused of stunning levels of corruption by the president. Minneapolis mayor says the constant insults and the ICE invasion have failed to dent his state's sense of community spirit.
They have not been broken. The president thought that they were going to come into Minneapolis and bully people into submission. And what they found instead was tens of thousands of people that were going to stand up and peacefully protest.
With Donald Trump promising to end the war in Ukraine within 24 hours of his election, it's clear that he's been played for a fool by Russian President Putin. Thursday saw Geneva hosting a twin set of peace talks as the US and Iran met for a second time, while Donald Trump's envoy Steve Witkoff also met with a Ukrainian delegation. Ukrainian President Zelensky announced that the fourth round of tripartite talks would take place in Abu Dhabi in early March, although there is no sign that Russia is prepared to take any concrete action towards peace. The talks between Iran and the US saw significant progress, according to the Omani Foreign Minister Badr al-Busaidi, who acted as the mediator. He says the two sides will meet again in Vienna next week. Trump and US Vice President J.D. Vance have both said they are seeking a diplomatic solution to issues with Iran, while also warning that the US has other tools at its disposal, which presumably includes the US Armada perched in the Gulf. Iranian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Ismaili Bakai says the question of Iran's nuclear capabilities remains the central issue.
The subject is focused on the nuclear issue, and Tehran will push for lifting sanctions and asserting Iran's right to peaceful use of nuclear energy.
Still to come on the Standout 7 in association with Metro, government steps up online protection for children and the big winners from the BAFTAs.
Right after this.
Pancetta, mushroom, tortellini. You can eat smart, still fit in your bikini. I ordered Blue Apron, I've been happy ever since. They sent pre-portioned meals, I don't make no measurements. Saute the pancetta, then I add the mushrooms. Large skillet, cause you can't have too much room. Garlic pesto, tomato paste, Calabrian chili, season the taste. Order Blue Apron today.
If your team isn't using ClickUp, you're wasting time, and data proves it. 61% of knowledge workers manage work more than doing it, switching apps 1,000 times a day. That's work sprawl and costs millions. ClickUp replaces 20 apps with Convergence, uniting projects, docs, and chats, while AI super agents handle the busy work. Join 4 million teams using ClickUp to finish work 30% faster. Try it free and get 15% off AI upgrades at clickup.com/podcast. That's CLICKUP.com/podcast.
Welcome back.
The government has been moving relatively quickly to increase protection for children online, and Tuesday saw an announcement that streaming platforms will now fall under Ofcom's remit when it comes to regulation. That will mean that any video on demand service, which will include Netflix, Prime Video and Disney Plus, along with catch-up services like ITVX or Channel 4, will have to comply with codes of content and accessibility. We'll hear more about how Ofcom might implement the new rules on this Sunday's edition of the Sunday 7 with our tech guru, Will Guyatt. It appears the rule change is intended to help protect children from harmful material, and it comes as a consultation over a potential social media ban is ongoing. Tory leader Kemi Badenoch doesn't believe a consultation is necessary, and she's keen on an immediate ban.
This is a weak excuse. We don't say that children should be able to buy cigarettes because some of them will be able to get around it. We need to stop looking for excuses not to do it and actually just get on and do it.
The 79th British Academy Film Awards, also known as the BAFTAs, took place on Sunday night in the Royal Festival Hall and were hosted by Traitors USA host Alan Cumming. It was a star-packed event with Paul Mescal, Gillian Anderson, Timothy Chalamet and the Prince and Princess of Wales all gracing the red carpet. Controversy struck the awards when a racial slur was heard from the audience as actors Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Linden were presenting the award for visual effects. The BBC were criticised for not editing out the word, which was uttered by John Davidson, a Tourette's syndrome sufferer and the inspiration for the award-winning film I Swear. The big winners on the night included Ryan Coogler, who became the first black man to win Best Screenplay for Sinners, while Paul Thomas Anderson won for One Battle After Another, and Ireland's Jessie Buckley won Best Actress for Hamnet.
This is really such an incredible honour, and this really does belong to the women past, present and future that have taught me and continue to teach me how to do it differently.
The death was announced on Friday of actor Eric Dane at just 53 years of age. He was best known as one of the stars of long-running medical show Grey's Anatomy, but it's the tragic story of his battle with motor neuron disease that has captured the world's attention. He was diagnosed just 10 months ago with the incurable condition ALS, and he spent his last few months working to raise funds and awareness in an attempt to move the needle on the condition, which causes progressive paralysis of muscles throughout the body. The former Dr. Max Steamy made his personal battle very public, which saw Time magazine include him as one of the 100 most influential people in health just 2 weeks ago. He left behind a young family and chose to make his last words to his daughters public. Rest in peace, Eric.
Billy in Georgia, these words are for you. I tried. I stumbled sometimes, but I tried. I hope I've demonstrated that you can face anything. You can face the end of your days. You can face hell with dignity. Fight, girls, and hold your heads high. You are my heart. You are my everything. Good night. I love you. Those are my last words.
You've been listening to The Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day. Give us 7 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Youth mental health is a complex challenge that requires comprehensive solutions. We must strengthen after-school programs. We must make digital literacy tools available in our schools. We must work with mental health professionals to support children. And we must empower mentors, educators, and parents to keep kids happy. Learn more about our commitment to finding lasting solutions at empowerourfuturecoalition.com/solutions. Paid for by the Coalition to Empower Our Future.
Hey, honey, are you awake?
I am now. What's wrong?
My back is killing me. This mattress is too soft.
Yeah, but I like it soft.
Soft mattress meant comfort, but every morning your back tells a different story. This is the sound of support, the sound of Airweave. Born from Japanese innovation, our air fiber technology provides the firm, even support your body has been craving. The aha moment your back has been waiting for. Airweave. Discover truly supportive sleep. With Airweave, you can customize your support. Our 3-block configuration allows you to adjust the firmness on each side of the bed. He gets the firm support he needs. She gets the comfort she wants. Airweave is truly supportive sleep. Discover more at airweave.com.
Save $200 off Yume mattresses with code DREAM.